Well, many people turned to religion to help them cope in the days after the 9/11 attacks, and some even chose new faiths, including Islam.
And when you study Islam, even when Islam is taught to you by somebody who hates Islam, as long as they don't corrupt it too far, you can still see the truth in Islam. When people see the truth of Islam, it can change them if they want to be guided. If they want the truth, it can change them.
Actually, I'm very much impressed by finding true astronomical facts in Quran.
Someone, a literate person, making profound pronouncements and statements that are amazingly accurate of a scientific nature. And I personally can't see how this could be a mere chance. There are too many accuracies.
Muhammad could not have known these facts about human development in the 7th century because most of them were not discovered until the 20th century. This is a leech, and this is the human embryo, but 23 days. I think you have to agree.
In reading the English translation of Song of Songs 5:16, it finishes the description by saying, "He is altogether lovely," but what most people don't know is that the name of that man was given in the original Megillah.
Mem, Het, Mem, Dalet, Hiko Mamtakim, Vechullo Muhammadin. זה דודי וזרעי בנות ירושלים.
Now, when reading the word as it is written in its original form, with no vowels, it can be read as Muhammad, which is the name of the Muslim prophet, or as Mamad with no A after the H.
חיקו ממתקים וכולו מחמדים, זה דודי וזרעי בנות ירושלים.
One of the first Qurans ever translated to English by George Sale. George Sale hated Islam, he hated the Muslims, but when he translated the Quran to English, he was true to the text of the words. Although maybe not getting all the meaning, he certainly was true to the text of the words. I was shocked when I read it. Have you seen it? You know what I'm talking about? Amazing.
I love Islam. Islam is absolutely my life. There's nothing in the world as important to me as Islam. And there is nothing in the world that I am not willing to give up for the sake of Allah, for Islam, and for the Muslims. That's a fact. It's an unquestionable fact. Because Islam is everything to me, because I know the power of Islam. I know the power of Allah. I understand Allah's love. I understand His wisdom. I understand His mercy. I understand His justice. And I know there is nothing that is better. And I wish to share this with everyone.
Just repeat after me, sister.
Okay.
I swear
I swear
there's no God to worship
there's no God to worship
except one God,
except one God.
Allah.
Allah.
And I swear
I swear
Muhammad is his messenger.
Muhammad is the messenger.
Allahu Akbar. Okay, now the Arabic, if you say it slow after me, it'll be easy for you. Ready?
Okay.
Ashhadu
Ashhadu
an la
an la
ilaha
ilaha
illallah
illallah
wa
wa
ashhadu
ashhadu
anna Muhammad
anna Muhammad
Rasulullah. George Bernard Shaw, for instance, is one of many, a long list of people who read this and realized the truth of Islam. When people see the truth of Islam, it can change them if they want to be guided. If they want the truth, it can change them. The first commandment in the Bible, in Exodus, is the same as the first commandment in the book of Deuteronomy. It says, I'm the Lord your God that brought you out of the land of Egypt in the house of bondage. You know no other God beside me. Beside me there's no other gods. Thou shalt not have any other gods beside me. Allahu Akbar. I was telling you about what happened in Germany. I kept saying, who's next? Who's next? And when we were finished, they would say, okay, let's go. I said, no, ask who's next. Finally, because almost everybody there is not Muslim, I said, who in the audience would like to be a Muslim? And they all stood up. 1,250 people took Shahada all at the same time. Allahu Akbar.
And then, in English,
there is no God but God.
And I bear witness
that Muhammad
the messenger of God.
is the messenger of God.
and her conversion ceremony is complete. She's now a Muslim.
I bear witness that there is no God but Allah. He is one. He has no partner. I also bear witness that Muhammad was servant and messenger of Allah. Assalamu alaikum.
My initial attractions to Islam were for instance, the sense of the brotherhood of humanity. You know, of course, in the United States, we have a long tradition of kind of racial separation and segregation, which nowadays is kind of dissolved for a number of reasons. But I find that that when I met Muslims and later when I traveled to the Muslim world, this absolute disregard for the outward features of human beings, whether it be their color or whatnot, and that mankind was actually united together under a single religion. And now when I read the Quran, it's not the same eyes that I read 25 years ago. It's this endless sea of meaning, this answer for everything. And this really amazes me and keeps my himma, my kind of zeal going and whatnot. So that question has changed as I'm changing. And inshallah, I imagine in the future it may change and evolve as well.
I was drinking, I was doing all of the things like typically an American would do. My work was in nightclubs, photographing. There was a lot of things that I was going through that were just not with God, and I needed something to change. I went to my mom and I told her that I was studying Islam before I converted. But one good thing is that she was watching me go through the changes. She saw me before and how my life was, and then she saw me after changing. She saw me dressing differently. She saw me stopping all of the haram things that I was doing, and she realized like that when I converted to Islam, I was closer to God, and that's what made her happy. You know, if that's what brought me closer to God, then she was happy.
When Jesus is talking to his own companions and they ask him, what's the greatest commandment? Mark 12:29. Clear. The greatest commandment is to know, O Israel, the Lord your God is one God. And you have to love him with all your heart and all your mind and all your strength. And this is no different from what Prophet Muhammad ﷺ is saying the same thing to his people. Same thing I mentioned in the lecture. This is certainly for us the same. So what you see is Muslims practicing the commandments, and you see people claiming the commandments but practicing something else. And I have seen more converts from the Catholic Church than any other of the many sects of Christianity, and especially from the nuns, priests, and even an archbishop. And all of them are better than me. These guys and women that I see do this, they still sacrifice their whole life to get the true message of Islam.
لولاه لكنا أحقاب جهنم. الحمد لله الحمد لله الحمد لله على نعمة الإسلام. الحمد لله